So I've been using this device for the last couple of weeks. This is an iPod Touch 6. And one of the things that I always do when I purchase a new mobile device is I look for cases. Most cases I'm going to be in the market for something heavy duty and waterproof if available. It's really difficult to find waterproof cases for most devices, unless it's an Apple device. Certain Samsung devices have waterproof cases, but it can be really difficult. But this is an iPod Touch 6, and I'm using a waterproof case designed by or manufactured by a company called Red Pepper. It's kind of interesting that this is designed for the iPod Touch 5, but the iPod Touch 6 and 5 had the same dimensions. So I'm assuming in most cases you can get an iPod Touch. Most, if not all cases, you can find an iPod Touch 5 case and use it for a iPod Touch 6. I'm doing this with one hand. I don't have a fancy camera stand like some of these other reviewers have. Now, the thing that's really cool about this is that the only iPod Touch case that was waterproof that I was aware of prior was one designed by Lifeproof. And they had a really strange design choice for that iPod Touch case, is that they used a sticker for the screen protector. And that was really strange. Apparently it works, it's still waterproof, but it's just something about using a sticker just didn't appeal to me. So I was searching all the time to try to find new waterproof cases, and there was nothing coming up. When you do a web search, the only thing that would come up would be the Lifeproof case. But at one point, when I purchased the 6 and I made a search again, these cases from Red Pepper appeared. Now they're designed for the 5, so I'm assuming they've been on the market for a long time, because the 5 I think came out in 2012. But I don't know. I can't tell you how long I've been searching for cases and nothing would come up. So that's the thing. There are a lot of accessories and things that are out there that aren't available through the main channels. You might search on Amazon and you might not find anything. You might do other searches on the web using Google, not find it. A lot of times there's small companies out there that are having or create really cool products, and until maybe a blogger who purchased it or someone does a video about it, you don't know about it. So I wanted just to discuss this. And again, I'm using one hand here. Now this is waterproof. It's very sturdy. Feels really good in the hand. One thing that's kind of interesting about this, when you purchase this, and I purchased this on Amazon, 2 seemingly identical products came up. One was listed under the Red Pepper name, and it was another listing under another company name that I can't think of right now. I purchased it from the other company name, but when the box arrived, it has the Red Pepper branding on it. Another thing that's kind of interesting about this is when you looked at the promo picture on the Amazon webpage, there was branding on the back, either by Red Pepper or the other company name on the back of the device. But when you actually pull the device out of the packaging, there's no branding on the back. And if you're someone who doesn't like excessive branding, and I wasn't crazy about the branding, either Red Pepper or the other company name, but the utility of the case, I decided to get it anyway. But when you actually pull it out, there's no branding on the back, so that was pretty cool. Couple other things that's kind of interesting. It does have a stand here, and I don't think I can flip this open with one hand. It's a little difficult. Even with 2 hands, it's a little difficult to get this out. Okay, there it is. So it has a little stand. I really like that. The one thing with stands such as this, if you use them a lot, and I've used them for other cheap cases, this can have a tendency, if there's a lot of stress on it, and I guess the way you unfold it and your use of it, this can snap off. And this does feel, although the case itself feels pretty solid, this feels fairly flimsy. So I can see that. I've had that happen with other cases where the stand has flopped off. Everything seems really secure. Now I'm using one hand here, I flipped these out before starting the recording of the video. This is how you access the charging port, and also for the earphones. You plug that in here. And this is rubber. So this is not plastic, it's rubber. Now, I've had other devices. The device I'm using to film this right now has rubber flaps, but they felt for the case, I'm using an iPod Touch 5 to film this. That I'm using an outer box case with that one, and it has rubber flaps, but they felt a little bit more secure. This case is about 3 years old. The flaps are still there. These rubber flaps feel fairly flimsy. And when you plug them in, it gives a seal, and I guess that keeps water out. So it's very secure, I guess, once it's all sealed up. But you're going to be taking these flaps out almost every day, either to plug in your earbuds or to charge it. And it's one thing is it's very stiff in the beginning. There's like a little tool that comes with this that's in the box. In the box here, they had like they had a microfiber cloth. They had also a screw-in device for your earbuds that keep it waterproof and you can still listen to your music. And they had a little tool that looks like you can fit on a keychain. I think you can use that to flip these open. I didn't read, there's a little manual in here. I never even read it. But over time, you can kind of flip this out on your own. It's a little difficult, but you can do it. But I'm just really, because it's rubber and it's not attached to the frame, it's like a little plug in the middle. You can flip these out individually, but there's a little plug in the middle that keeps it in place, and that pops out sometimes. So I can see losing this, and there's no replacements in there for this. It's just the one that was attached to the case. So I can see that being a problem if this comes off and it falls on the ground, and I doubt that they sell replacements for this, and then it won't be waterproof anymore because you need these closed to keep water from getting into the case from these flaps. So that's the one thing I don't like about it, this little rubber thing here. Let me just put them in so you can see how it is once they're, it's a little tough to do it with one hand. Okay, so it's basically in there right now. And that keeps a seal. I'm hoping that the rubber that's used for this is it is probably fairly, will stand up to a lot of wear and tear. But it is one issue. I think that could actually come off. And it has come off a couple times when I've struggled to try to lift these rubber flaps to either access the charging port or whatever. Another thing is the touch sensitivity is sometimes a little difficult. Let me see if I can show you a little something that's a little problem with this. I don't have this touch sensitivity problem with other cases, but this one I do have a problem here. There's a quick settings here. Let me see if I can get it open. Like, see that? That's the quick setting. It's very difficult to get this open. It's normally very easy on, oh, look at that. It came open. Now that I'm doing a video, if you can see, it's not that bad right now. But there have been times I have to do this like 10 times just to try to get that quick settings. Now, you can also access some of that information by going to not the quick settings, but going to the setting app. But that's a problem, trying to get to the quick settings. There's also some other touch sensitivity issues with the screen protector. And the one thing good about this, as opposed to the Life Choice, which uses a sticker for the screen protector, this is a plastic screen protector that's attached to the frame. So it snaps into the lower frame here. So it just feels more secure than a sticker. So that's one of the things that's the benefits of this in the LifeProof. And I think it's about a third as much as a LifeProof case. The LifeProof case is a lot more expensive. So the only drawbacks is there's some touch sensitivity. And also you can't see this, but this screen has some kind of weird pixelation to it that can be a little bit of a problem. It has like a rainbow pixelation. I don't know how, it's like little multicolored dots that appear on the screen, and it's really prominent. You probably can't see this on the video, but it's really prominent when you have it in person, and if you have a a white background is very prominent. If that bothers you, I don't know if I would get this. I'm getting used to it, but it's still a bit of a problem. That pixelation is always there. It's not something you can clean off. It's just a part of the plastic screen protector here. I don't know I don't know what the purpose of it is, but it is a little distracting. So the touch sensitivity, the multicolored dots on the screen, and these flaps here. And although it has a lot of utility to it, this I think could break off if you use it a lot, or if you're not careful with it. You have to really treat this very nicely when you're lifting it out. And because sometimes it's very difficult to lift out, like it could take a lot of effort. When I'm doing the video, everything is happening very easy. But there have been times when it depends on if you really force it down really tightly, it can be really difficult to get it open. Other than that, and I know there's a lot of things, because it is fairly inexpensive. It's not the cheapest cases. I think you can get cases for single-digit dollars, like $7, $8, $9, $5. I think you'll get this in the teens someplace. But for it to be waterproof, fairly sturdy, I think it's okay. So you could probably check it out online in a lot of different places. I purchased mine on Amazon. That's about it. Peace.